Welcome to pregame.tv. Scott Spreitzer here along with Marco D'Angelo and the new guy as we talk NIT for Tuesday. Kentucky, Robert Morris coming up in just a moment. That new guy on the end, if you've been listening to radio over the years, whether it be Southern California or Las Vegas, then you're a fan of Ken Thomson, who I'm very excited about working with. We met a few years ago. Finally working with in video. Looking forward to working with on radio also. Good to have you aboard the pregame roster. And you're also going to be giving us some of your picks on pregame.com from what I understand.
Scott, you know what? I've appreciated you too. I get to listen to you every day, and it's great because our shows are at different times, and a lot of times you'll do a lot of that homework for me, and I'm sure vice versa. So it's kind of neat to hear something and also get different perspectives from all the great people over here at pregame. And that's why when I heard RJ, you know, on a Collins show and nationally on Fox, I said, you know what? This guy, not only is he on top of things, but the staff, the Cracker Jack staff he has with him, top of the line. So I'm real excited to be with pregame.
And you're already making yourself in good with Marco because you mentioned food, Cracker Jacks.
There you go.
Anyway, let's talk Kentucky, Robert Morris, Ken. You got a free play coming up on this at the end of the show.
Right.
These less than big dance tournaments, a lot of times motivation means almost as much as the talent level for each team. But Robert Morris maybe is disappointed for not being in the big dance as Kentucky is.
Yeah, the Northeastern Conference, I mean, they were the #1 seed, and Wagner the #2 seed. And LIU Brooklyn probably could have been that team, but they lost Boyd in December. You're talking about 18.5 points, 9 boards a game, so all of a sudden they're up against it. And Robert Morris, they're veterans of the big dance. They know what it takes to win, and all of a sudden they get short-circuited. Mount St. Mary's they're running to, who ironically ended up getting pummeled in the final by LIU Brooklyn. But it's a tough thing. So, yeah, we look at teams like Kentucky, all right, they're going to be bummed. This is not something they wanted and not a place they want to be. Plus, they're on the road. Robert Morris, though, they'd rather be at the big dance because they know they were the #1 seed in the NEC.
Absolutely. I was reading some of the clippings on Kentucky after they were passed over by the NC2A selection committee. And for the first 24 hours, and we're talking about up to now, we're doing these videos on Monday late afternoon, all the questions have been, can you focus for the NIT? How do you feel about not making the big dance? And Calipari's even answered questions saying things like, these guys better play well because we got a heck of a recruiting class coming in. They might not be playing a lot next year. I haven't heard one question about how do you go in and what's your biggest thing that you got to focus on when it comes to beating Robert Morris. Having said that, if these teams are on equal motivation, it's a huge talent gap. And I was looking at Robert Morris, as we have done all season long, in their home gym. You're talking about a team that allows the opposition to can about 45% of their shots. The one advantage they may have, they force a lot of turnovers, about 17 a game. So Kentucky does have to be on top of their game as a ball handling team.
Well, you know I'm a situational guy, and motivation is a big situation in handicapping this game. And I just find it hard to believe that you go from being the national champion to the NIT the next year. And you're going to need a Newt Rockne type speech to get this team up off the floor. The one thing Kentucky does have going for them is John Calipari is a native of where they're going to be playing. He was actually born in Moon Township, where this game is. And you want to talk about, we'll go to Cracker Jacks. You want to talk about a Cracker Jack gym? This gymnasium is only 3,056 seats. It is going to be small. The crowd is going to be right on top of Kentucky. This is the biggest thing that's happened in, Moon Township ever. And, way back, the last big thing of Robert Morris was the New York Jet coach used to do the football. He was a football coach there after he left the Jets. So not a lot of exciting things happening in Moon. But if Kentucky comes to play, yes, they blow them out. But I just got to question their motivation here.
I like their point guard, Velton Jones. He can dish, no doubt about it. And this team can get hot from the outside, especially at home. This one's your free pick, Ken.
It is my free pick, and I am going to go with Kentucky minus the 4.5. And I totally understand, hey, sure, they're defending national champs. They want to be back in the big dance. But when Nerlens Noel went down, I think the writing was on the wall. They knew that they had to basically step up their game without him. Willie Cauley-Stein needed to be that guy in the middle. He was at times against weaker opposition, but these are still young guys. They still want to play postseason. They have a chance to go to Madison Square Garden. That's what Cal will sell them on. When you look at Goodwin, Poitras, Cauley-Stein, Wilcher, Harrow, Mays, you've got players. There's not one player on Robert Morris that would start on Kentucky. Therefore, you look at the situational play like Marco says. So you're saying, okay, Robert Morris, smaller school, they should be able to take care of business because they're going to be motivated. No, because they're the 1 seed from the NEC. They had their sights set. They knew they were the best team, and when Boyd went down for Long Island, they knew they were going to take care of business. Once Wagner went out, it should have been all home cooking there for Robert Morris, but they floundered. So they too, sure, the Joneses are good. Lucky Jones, Velton Jones, Carvel, great ice cream. Carvel Anderson's their leading scorer. Hey, you know what? They're going to be ready to play. Small gym, they'll get motivated. But Kentucky, they'll get red behind the ears when they're down maybe 9-5 out of the gate, and they'll come to play, and they'll push this game, and they'll keep widening it. And I expect them to win by 15, 20 points in this game.
Wouldn't be shocked. I mean, there's guys on this Kentucky team who, as I just said, they're going to be feeling the heat. You got to come out and perform in the NIT and show that you can get motivated to play against a team like Robert Morris when all things didn't go well for you at the end of the season, because they got a hell of a recruiting class, including basically, you can call them twins, I guess, the brothers coming in next year that's going to play for John Calipari. So I think there's some jobs on the line for Kentucky. Ken says take Kentucky, lay the points over Robert Morris. That's Tuesday night, NIT action, 4:30 Pacific time tip. And don't forget, stick around, because we got 5 big dance matchups coming up for Thursday. All that and more right here at pregame.com.